So recently, I was able to participate in some of the picketing for the SAG after a strike. If you haven't seen my videos before, my name is Alfonso. I'm a singer and actor and a performer in Los Angeles, and this is my journey. So there's a guy I knew from my gym who he doesn't go anymore, but he used to go a few years ago, and his name is Amir, and he's pretty active with SAG. And if you're not familiar, SAG is the union for actors. And it's basically they came up with working conditions and standards for what actors should be paid, because it used to be like you were a contract years ago, and now I think you're like hired case by case. So it's like you're not hired as an employee, you're kind of hired as a contractor. Unless you have like a series or something like that. I think there are some exceptions, but I think a lot of people are contract. So this is basically the union, like I said, that sets standards like safety, the number of hours people can work per day, what people are supposed to be compensated, what the minimums are. And it also provides like insurance for actors who make and they also determine the amount of money people have to make in order to get that to get insurance. And it's basically like any union, a place they can turn to where they need some kind of support in their job or basically in the industry. And right now they're on strike because a lot of it has to do with AI and streaming, and a lot of these actors aren't getting paid for work they've done when it's being streamed on things like Netflix or Paramount Plus or whatever streaming service you can think of. And also there are things in the contracts where the studios are able to use your image or likeness and in perpetuity, which means like forever. Once you sign these contracts, or it's being put in contracts. So like you can work one job, let's say you make $10,000 for it, and the studios want to be able to just use your image and make a movie with you, but it isn't really you, it's like your image or your likeness, it's you and AI. So basically they own your image, and they can do whatever they want with it and not have to pay you anything for it. And this is something that the actors are striking over, and they're not coming to an agreement over. And they are asking for a little bit more pay, a little more compensation, and a lot of the studios aren't really wanting to give that. And it's kind of frustrating because there are people who are executives at these companies that make insane amounts of money, and just by them giving up, a percentage of their income, not a huge percentage, and I know in some cases the CEOs are not making like a crazy amount of money. Like to us, it's crazy a year. For a CEO, it's kind of normal, but there are some that it's like it is downright insane what they are making. And I do understand why actors wouldn't go for that. And if we're looking around with a lot of laborers, there's a lot of striking going on. So it isn't specific to acting. It's auto workers, airlines, hotel workers, and I think a lot of people, their pay got left behind, but their job responsibilities just kept moving forward. So anyway, I was picketing with them on Tuesday, and that was the day they were negotiating. And I'm like, if I'm going to get out here and support people in SAG, I better get my butt out and do it today, just in case they come to an agreement. But also, if you're living in LA, this strike is really affecting everybody. It's affecting people who provide the food services, as I mentioned before, the people who do hair, people who do makeup, the people who sell clothing, the people who fit them, the seamstresses, the people who print the materials they need. The list goes on. And it even, let's say somebody owns a movie theater in another country, and they're, not having supply of movies, or people who have anything to do with the movie theater, the cleaning people, the people that provide the snacks for the movies, they're all being affected. So this is something that just like really branches out into to pretty much everybody who lives in the city. Because and that money isn't flowing, so it's really affecting local economies and economies outside of LA, even that watch movies or show movies or host parties or premieres, any of these things. It really affects so many people that in so many ways that a lot of us don't really consider. So a lot of it was great. I met some really nice people, and I saw some well-known celebrities there, but I didn't really want to be that person that's like, oh, can I take a picture with you? Because they're out there doing their thing, trying to make sure we all get fair pay, even though I'm not a member of SAG, but someday I probably will be. And, I do want to make sure these things are in place for when I am doing that. And I met a journalist who was very nice, is actually going to come see me at my regular job for what I do. And yeah, it was just really, really fun to do that. And everybody was in really good spirits. And I think the whole philosophy behind not reaching a deal is to demoralize a lot of people. And yeah, it's kind of hard where people are struggling to pay rent and buy food, but everybody seemed to be in very good spirits and having a great time. So, I stand with the actors. I'm one of them, so why wouldn't I? And I really think I should own my own image, and that studios shouldn't have carte blanche to do with it as they please. Anyway, have a great afternoon or day, excuse me.